Good afternoon and happy Friday. This is Jeremy Murphy in Lincoln, Nebraska, in the central United States of America. And I'm on Blab here to talk to you about you are so much more than your clout score. For those of you that may not know who I am or what I do, I'm a life coach, running coach, writer. I do social media a lot. I'm all over Twitter is kind of my favorite social media platform, but I'm on several others and stronger than others, stronger on some than others. And we all have our favorites, you know. And for those of you that may not know what clout is a measurement of your social media strength, if you will. And it kind of takes a compilation of authorizations that you've provided to Clout and combines them into some kind of data-driven metric and gives you a number. So before I forget to do so, I'm going to tell a little bird, and maybe we can get some more people in here. They realize that we're on the air. So I'm going to put this on. This has gotten a lot more complicated over here on the left. I'm going to tell a bird so people know we're live. Let's see if we can get more people to join us. Okay. Hi, Jose. Welcome. This is Jeremy Murphy, and I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska. We're talking about you're so much more than your clout score. My mom taught me to write in rhymes a lot of times. Sorry, my phone is ringing. I thought I shut it off. So sometimes I rhyme and sometimes I don't. But here it seemed to fit. But so let me tell you my story a little bit. Ivana, welcome. I'll try to keep up with welcoming people here in the room. And but we're talking about clout scores and how we're so much more than that. That sometimes you can't really measure very well what our value is. Some things can't be quantified. That's my point. So a while back, maybe a year ago or so, there was someone with a social media, a major presence on Twitter, and they were looking for someone to serve as a moderator. And you had to submit an application, and so I've tried to go through and do that. I'm going to welcome Ha here. And see if we can get her to connect.
Okay.
Hi, Ha. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I was here from the beginning. I keep on saying Jeremy, but
I'm sorry. I couldn't see you. I didn't see you up above until just now. So I don't know what happened. Would you be willing to co-host this or not?
Jeremy, there's a tab that tell your aunt.
Tell your aunt. I'm trying to figure that. I was talking about that off the record because I have many aunts, and some of them aren't on Facebook. So does that mean Facebook is the aunt of Twitter, or does that mean that all of my aunts are on Facebook, but I don't know that?
I think that the blab, but not the words that very amusing. Just say that.
Sure.
Post it in in your Facebook or something.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you. I would like to maybe ask you to co-host this if you're willing to do that in case I have a connection problem or something.
Yeah, but please do. I'm more than happy to be.
Okay, I will do that. Okay, it says that it worked on my end. Do you see it on your end?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, so now we welcome people then. Okay.
Yes, we want to welcome Ivana and Jose, I think, are the other people in the room here. And we're happy to allow other people into the seats. I think I still have that unlocked. Yes, it looks like I do. But I want to go back to, I guess what I was saying, this lady on Twitter had a major presence. She was looking for someone to be a moderator, but you had to submit an application. And in order to be eligible for this, you had to have a clout score of 65 or higher. Now, it takes some work to get a clout score of 65 or higher. You've got to take all your social networks, if you choose to go the cloud direction and plug them in, or as many of them as possible. And so I started doing that and looking at it, and my cloud score was below that. And I could not convince this lady that I had the expertise she was looking for, despite having 22 years of, well, it would have been 21 years of experience as a lawyer at that point. And she came back and she said, well, all you're an expert in is running. And I said, what are you, where are you getting this? And so I started looking at my Twitter profile. I realized, okay, I've been running marathons since 1988. I'm pretty serious about it. I'm still running marathons now, but I just couldn't believe that she would discard my legal experience and intellect and things like that just because I had a cloud score that she considered to be substandard. And so I finally decided, well, I don't care. If that's how you're going to handle this, I mean, if you're on social media, you're entitled to pick what metrics you use to hire your people, or figure out if they can interact enough with your tribe, if you will, to be effective. And so I just gave up, and I became more skeptical about cloud scores after that. And one thing that I don't like is you have to reauthorize all these networks every once in a while. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if there's some kind of legal issue or what the issue is. But sometimes, for example, like the Facebook and the YouTube one just expired for me. And so I had to renew that. And then the YouTube one, I tried to renew it and it wouldn't renew. And so I don't know, I got frustrated, contacted Clout, and I said, hey, this isn't working. And they said, okay, well, disconnect YouTube and then reconnect it. And I was going to criticize Clout for not having Pinterest. They have, to give you an example of what networks they deal with, they have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google+, YouTube, Pinterest, WordPress. I didn't know WordPress was in there. And I don't do anything with Foursquare, but, Foursquare is a possibility. And I think they have, Bing. I don't, to me, I'm not sure that Bing is really a word. I know it's a web platform or website that people use for search. But I want to welcome Carla. Hi, Carla. How are you? Okay, so what I would like to emphasize is our society has come from the point of I think of when numbers meant something different. For example, during World War II, to give an example, the law school professor who hooded me at graduation was a concentration camp survivor, I believe from Auschwitz. So he had a number on his forearm, and we respected him without fail because of that and several other reasons. But we looked up to him a great deal because of that, because of his sacrifice and suffering. And so, numbers used to mean something like that. And so we've come from that and from, Viktor Frankl and Man's Search for Meaning. And that now we've come to a data-driven, numbers-based society where, I think people are more than numbers. I don't know why we have to have these numbers, or whether it's a good idea to participate in Clout or to just choose not to participate at all, and pull out of the system. There are other metrics. There's Twitter analytics and alternatives like that. I guess you pick the platform that you think you're most efficient on, and maybe go with that instead. What do you think about? Have you dealt with Cloud at all, or Cloud scores?
Yes, I have. And Jeremy, did you hear the echo?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Yeah, I think that the Cloud number is like pretty much a standardized number. They have to find some number to measure, according to them. And and you and I, we have discussions many times that we have a different merit, and then sometimes that we just cannot using our own standard, our own merit to measure someone, as well as we will not allow somebody measure us with their merit.
Right.
And and then nowadays, and I'm glad that you do not get discourage you from doing the thing that you are doing, because you are picking yourself. You choose you. This is a very powerful statement. You know that.
Right.
You know your capability. You know what can you contribute to the world or to the conversation or into society.
True.
And having that knowledge and have the confidence that of who you are, what can you do, and what the impact you want to make. And I think that Cloud want to measure the people who allow them to, but you will define that. You will measure your own because you know yourself best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that the Cloud is the influencer. That how the more you appear in the social medias, and the more you have the followers, or the more that you are consistently appearing in the social media, that the Cloud score will go up. Or I can sign in, and I can give you this some number. I can give you I don't know what I can score you, and by that you can increasing your Cloud number.
Sure. Well, and there are weird aberrations in this too that I don't like in the way they have the system set up. For example, if you go on vacation and you don't post much on social media, then your Cloud score dips. Well, should we really be penalized with that? I mean, you're going to have somebody look and say, "Oh, you have this valley. You were gone for a week, and then you were gone for another week, and so you have another dip here." And I just
see, in your absence, your Cloud the number will be declined just because you are not visible. But then again, anyway, I love the title you have. We are so much more than the Cloud score.
Right.
And I agree totally.
Well, and don't get me wrong. I mean, there are jobs where you cannot prove to prospective employers that you're valuable enough or meritorious enough without having a Cloud score above a certain level. And maybe you can argue that you have other merit that can mitigate that somehow. I would hope that we're, broad-minded enough to do that, and that we're not just going to put these numbers on people. But I just, for people that put it on their profile and all that, I just, we're more than, we're more than numbers. And I think some of that influence can't be measured by a number. I think we all have different spheres of influence, and we can argue about whether it's a sphere shape or not, but I think some of that influence needs to be shared more broadly. And I think if we do that naturally, our Cloud scores will go up. But I'm not sure if we should care if they go up or not. Although for some workplaces and some, if you are doing influencer type work, it's really difficult to find a different metric to use. Unless, like I said, you go to something like Twitter Analytics and that's just single platform. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of alternatives to this, participating in this. I'm thinking about disconnecting Cloud from my phone because it's become a distraction. You try to update apps on your phone and you try to look at which ones you use or don't use. And I mean, I seriously don't really use it that much anymore. It doesn't have meaning to me like Twitter Analytics does. So I don't know if someone hops in here and has a different opinion. I really want to hear from you. I'm not trying to intend it to have a debate. I thought about doing that, but that would be a different blab. So
no, I think that Ivana, she have a very good point. We would like for you to take a seat and then
sure. Feel free. It's easier to communicate if you.
But remember, we live in this society. Whether we comply it or not, we will be affected by it. Oh, here she is. Thank you for coming in.
Hey guys, I'm trying to.
Hello.
Hi, Ivana. How are you?
You can see me.
I love your comment on the sidebar. I would you more would you like to articulate a little bit more for our viewer?
Well, let's see. So I've been following Klout for a long time. A friend of mine is one of their original employees.
Okay.
And there was a time when, they were using one algorithm to measure influence, and it had a very basic structure, like how engaged are you? How many people share the things you've posted? Logical things like that, right?
Sure.
And then over time, they went and did some kind of update. And what had happened was people's scores just plummeted. And nobody knows. And now I believe in, don't hold me to this. It's like a mystery algorithm of some sort. But I really love the point Ha made, which was it really does measure. I think that for folks who are, how do I say this? For big brands that are using influencer marketing, because we all know ads and pay-per-clicks and all that kind of stuff, even email anymore. Yeah. It's just bleh. Mm-hmm. Right. So a lot of big brands are using influencer marketing and I do some of that work. And one of the ways but I want to say something to you, Jeremy, that I think will prove your point. Okay. So about a year or so ago, I got contacted by a big brand. I'm working with Canon and helping them launch their Maxify printer. I have to tell you that when I first got this email, I thought it was a hoax. I missed it.
Oh, wow.
And I missed it, and I thought it was a hoax because I had it in my mind that to be an influencer, you had to have hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter. Mm-hmm. You had to have a huge email list, and your website had to get tons and tons, like millions of visitors and stuff. Yeah. And I didn't have any of those things. Now, I have a good brand. I run DIYmarketers.com. I've got 14,800 followers, whatever, but I'm very even, right? Mm-hmm. And my site gets decent traffic, but it's not in like the bazillions by any stretch.
Yeah.
And so I thought to myself, why? What is it about me that's so interesting to them? So I asked, because if you want to know something, you should just ask.
Yeah.
Yes.
As long as you know what the answer is, right?
Right. And I said, well, how did you choose your influencers? And, you might wonder, how do people get on these lists and so on and so forth? Like, what is it that makes them influential? I'm here to tell you that these days, what big brands are looking for are real people who engage. Mm-hmm. Right. So like I'm engaging with you right now.
Right.
Or if you were to tweet me something, if you tweeted at DIY Marketers and you asked me a question, you said something to me, I would respond back to you.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But that said, that's not enough to have a good Klout score, to have a good influencer score. So people that are looking for influencers want people who are committed to the business of communicating and engaging online. And that means you've got to have an infrastructure. It has to be part of your business process.
Yeah.
And that answers the point that I think I was making. Like if you go on vacation and you don't have, your score is going to go down. Well,
sure.
If you're an influencer, you better have a system in place to make sure that these things are happening. It's a part of your business process. So, and I've just recently, and I didn't know how I felt about doing this. I've recently made the change, and people can argue with or do whatever, they could say what they want about it. I guess I made the decision for the first time to put influencer in my bio. And that took, I've been doing this work for quite a while, but it took recently for me to do that. And there's a reason for that. It took a while for me to realize that I'm an advocate for small business. I'm an advocate for those companies that support small business. I make recommendations based on my experience as a small business marketing person. Mm-hmm. And I have a system in place to make sure that happens. There's a team and an infrastructure in place to make sure that things happen in a certain way, to a certain quality level. So I have a business in place and I've actually had to make the shift. I realized recently, just in time for 2016, that I'm shifting out of, that's not to say I'm not a practitioner. I'm absolutely a practitioner. Just, like you're a lawyer or whatever. I'm totally a practitioner. but I'm also in the media business, and I have to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And that means, once again, that if you are in the business of media, then you have to make sure that that you have systems in place to do things. And yeah, your cloud score's got to be a certain place.
Sure.
Because if that's how I'm going to make my money, that says something about me.
Yeah, and especially nowadays that social media take a major piece of pie in the business world, and your influencer in the social media is count for something. And again, regardless of we accept that number or not, but we will be measured by it. Now, having hear you saying that, can you share with us and with our viewer, the minimum we need to do in order to maintain, because I know that you have a system to do in order for you aggressively to get that number or to sustain that number. But for the people, little people, maybe just like the people like us, how can we do just the minimum, whatever we need to do in order for us to stay in the game?
I gotcha. Well, the first thing I would say is you have to make the decision. I think Jeremy makes a really, really awesome point. Okay.
Yeah.
And that is, to what degree is social media going to be a core strategy for you, and what elements of social media are going to be a core strategy for you to develop an audience, right? So if you've made the decision that you're going to develop an audience through content developing and engaging online, right? And well, the only way to make that happen is to develop relationships with people. And to do that, social media is, a great way to do that. So if you made the decision to do that, it all starts really small. And I'm a big, big advocate for understanding what your natural baseline is. So, I come from manufacturing. I have a background of 20 some years in manufacturing. So I'm really into systems, right? So if you have a baseline system, so whatever your cloud score is, it doesn't mean anything. It's just a number. Mm-hmm. That's really important. It's just a number. We as human beings assign meaning to it. It's
true. Very true. Thank you.
Right? So all it is a number that there's actually a statistical word for that. It's an arbitrary number.
And it's a capricious number.
And I guess not to get too statistical about it, what is it? Is it oral, right? So bigger is better, right? It makes sense. There's a relative. It's a relative number, right?
Yes.
Being bigger means something, and being small means something. Opposed to being male and female. Male is 1, female is 2. That totally doesn't mean anything, right? It's just a designation. But in this case, the numbers, the bigger or smaller number means something. Correct?
Sure.
Yes.
Here's what I would say to you. Live your life, run your business, engage online. Okay? And then see what that number is. And do that for I would give it a month or two. It takes a while for things to settle in. And that's your baseline. This is what life looks like when it's working for me. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So for example, for the longest time, my baseline was 50 something. Okay. And it stayed at freaking 50. It just wouldn't budge. Okay. And I gamed that stupid system. I play games with automating. I did all different kinds of things, right? It's my job to do that. So I can have this conversation. Sure. But I did all kinds of stuff. And the stupid thing just stayed there. Now, the key to clout, I believe, because recently my score has jumped way up to 16.9, I think it was. I just noticed it the other day. I don't even look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even look at it. It's not a focus. And I think that's an important point.
That's good. I look at it for laughs mainly, because the thing I notice is, it dipped. And then I realize, it dipped because reauthorizations weren't renewed or something. And you renew them and it goes back to where it was. And I say, this is ridiculous.
ridiculous, right? But, you know, for those of us, and I got to tell you, you know, people look for someone, you know, it matters, and I make judgments based on it. But I think for regular people, it's just a tool to use. It's just one thing. And if you are in the business, now here's where I'm going to draw a line. If you're in the business of social media marketing, online marketing, like if that's, like you sit there and you hang your shingle like I do, and I say I'm DIY marketers and I give marketing advice to all businesses. What would you think if you looked at my profile and I had a cloud score of 22?
Well, that would be a problem. I mean, you have, you know, I mean, there is a little bit of meaning there, but I'm not sure if, you know, the difference between 65 and 70. I mean, is there? It
doesn't matter. That's all I'm saying. It's relative, right?
Are any of us ever going to have the cloud score of Joel Comm? Probably not. You know, I
know Joel. He's awesome, right? Yeah. And, you know, and there are things, and so, but I will tell you. You asked me, how you can improve your score. What are some things you can do? I'm going to tell you. Engage, right? And here is a sneaky tip.
Okay, then I'm for it.
Tip, my people. Magical. And you're going to like this, Jeremy, I think.
Okay.
Find and join a tweet chat group that you like. Now, what I would do, and I don't even know, there's a couple directories out there. Just Google tweet chat directory, and you'll find a couple. Some are better than others. Google the word best tweet chats along with whatever area of expertise that you want to be in, what industry or whatever you want to be in. They got them for moms. They got them for runners. They got them for freaking everybody.
Yeah.
So this is what I did. And this was brilliant on so many levels, even if I do say so myself. Okay, so I used to run a tweet chat, had my own tweet chat, but it was like a big responsibility. And I still run them, but not regularly. But there are tweet chats regular. So you find your tweet chats and you make your list. I started out with a list of, oh my gosh, I think it was like 20 or 50. Like it was a big, long list, okay? And then I went to tweetreach.com.
Okay.
You go to TweetReach, and then you go through all those hashtags. And the other thing I did, so you mark your tweet chat, mark what day it's on, mark what time it's on, blah, 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 right? Sometimes they'll have who's hosting it, put that in there. Now you go to TweetReach, and you type in the hashtag, and the hashtag is here's another metric, right? And I use TweetReach like a boss. Love my TweetReach because that measures, it gives you just a tremendous amount of information. The first thing it tells you is how many impressions that hashtag received. Okay. And the next number that's real important is it's going to tell you how many unique accounts engaged with that hashtag, right? So impressions means like if 14,000 people are following me and I tweet something, that's 14,800 impressions.
Okay.
So whether they like really saw it or not.
And Raymond, this is priceless. Thank you so much.
I'm telling you, this is the trick, people. Then you go. So I picked, so then I got a sense of like, what were these tweet reach numbers? And you got to know the tweet reach that's free, it only grabs 100 tweets.
Okay.
So if that tweet chat isn't occurring regularly, it's going to have crappy numbers. But if it occurs regularly, its numbers are going to be half decent. So I started seeing what I started by writing down the impression numbers and the single account numbers in a spreadsheet. That's how I started. And then I saw a pattern, and like inside my mind and inside my little soul, I was like, I don't want to mess with any tweet chats. Because remember, I got a long list. I don't want to mess with any tweet chats that don't get at least 1 million impressions and 500,000 unique accounts.
That's a good metric, huh?
I just decided you could have a different number. I mean, you just need to know there's nothing that I just decided.
Okay.
I looked and, you look at the pattern and you're like, I'm kidding. So my list got smaller. So my list got from like 30 or 50 or whatever the hell it was, immediately down to like 10. Right? Okay. Then from those 10, I took those 10 and I put them in my calendar. Okay. I use Gmail as my calendar. I use Google as my calendar system. So what I did is I put it in my calendar, but I marked it open. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
So like if something comes up, I can always schedule it in there, but I know. And what will happen is if I'm working and I'll get a little reminder that says, hey, Content World Tweet Chat is on, and I'm like, oh, I can drop in.
Wow.
I drop in, right?
Yeah.
So I did that. I did that for 10 tweet chats. I did that for like 2 or 3 weeks. You know, you have to give it time. And then like, let's say you skip one, I would say give it like 30 days. See if you can run through that list to attend every chat at least once during that period of time. Immediately, you will meet awesome people. Immediately, you will make friendships.
That is true.
Immediately, your score is magically going to go up because you're doing that natural, wonderful thing of being you and engaging.
I'm so excited.
Right? But then you know what? Like, what happens? Natural human being things happen, right?
Yes.
And so I got my list of 10 down to like 5. And I attended those 5 like as regularly as I could. Once again, magically, I met amazing people. It was like awesome. But then what happens is the more you attend, you're like, oh, I like these people. And like you just naturally find yourself saying, oh, I don't want to miss that one. Like I start orchestrating my day around like these certain things that I know I don't want to miss. That is natural behavior, and you want to pay attention to that.
Yes.
Because that says, oh, I like these people. They like me, right? Because I wouldn't want to be there if they ignored me. Because believe me, there were some tweet chats where like I felt sort of like out of the clique, you know?
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. There is a tweet chat out there just for you.
Yeah, there's one in the title called Viral Chat that I will endorse since I'm wearing my House Planner shirt.
I have been talking in generics, but there are 2 tweet chats that I do not miss. I love the people so much, and there's a lot of the same people in the group. It's Viral Chat and Influencer Chat.
Okay. Influencer Chat I haven't done much with, but Viral Chat I try not to miss.
Influencer Chat is Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. So adjust for your time zone.
Okay.
But they're like mostly the same people. Now, I have a bunch of chats. I use TweetDeck. I track them all. Because sometimes they go at the same time. And then you know what happens? It's like a neighborhood. It's like a party. And people will be like, oh, I'm at Influencer Chat, and then they'll like hop over to customer service, and then they'll hop over to LinkedIn because we're all using like TweetDeck, and it's like this conversation. It's a party. I grab my glass of wine, I pop my feet up.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, I've learned more from Viral Chat itself than I think I have from all the other tweet chats I've participated in put together. I'm just blown away by the amount of information and the level of Twitter competence that these people have is just top notch. It's amazing. It's
ridiculous. And do you know what they've done? They've made me like a much, much better social media marketer, because now you know how it makes you better. Well, I see them and I'm like out and out ask. I'm like, how come you guys have all this? Well, you know, we prepare. I mean, you little mofos. You prepare? Seriously? I mean, not the hosts. Like the people.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow you. I'm going to follow you, yes.
So I like sat down and I said, I cannot believe I'm doing this. Like I have things to do. But I knew like yesterday was Viral Chat. I'm sitting there making cat graphics and looking for GIFs because we have jokes on Viral Chat around like milk and
cookies. Somebody has to show cookies every week.
Somebody has to show cookies. I have cookies.
It makes Viral Chat trend every week. The funny stuff people retweet it, and it just makes their minds.
Did you see the cat when I did? I did a wonderful, and Rebecca Radis got me on this. I went on Canva and I made this like branded tweet thing, right? So I have a little branded look. I have one for Bizapalooza because I run Bizapalooza and I run DIY Marketers. So I have a little branded tweet thing. I put a little kitty on there, grumpy cat, and then it says, I cracked myself up. It said, when I think about you, I tweet myself.
Oh, man.
I tell you what. So by the end of that night, or maybe first thing this morning, I get up on Tweet Reach because I'm like, I know that picture did it. I know it.
Yeah.
Right? Don't you know DIY Marketers was at 2 million impressions this morning?
Wow. That's amazing.
It's just a game.
Yeah,
just a game.
Tell us about Bizapalooza. That's a different tweet chat? I've never heard of that one.
No. Well, Bizapalooza. Oh man, this is my third year of producing Bizapalooza. I had a little voice talk to me. I'm not crazy. I just was having a moment 3 years ago, and I was like, damn. Do you know that there are 28 million small businesses in this country, right? We know that. We throw that number around, right? Mm-hmm. And something like, in 2010, something like 700,000 of them closed their doors. And I was sick about that. And I said, what if 28 million small business owners were just successful enough to, let's say, hire one more? I just picked that like out of my hiney. Like, what if? And I was like, wow, what kind of impact would that have on their lives, on the neighborhood, on the economy? And then I was like, well, how are you going to reach 28 million small business owners? And I'm like, I can do that. I can do that.
Wow, amazing. I
can do that. And so back to your clout thing, that's where the numbers become important to me because it becomes, I just need some kind of metric. Like, am I achieving my vision? So I created Bizapalooza. It started out as like webinars because I have access to influencers. Okay. So I interviewed all these people and they did webinars, and that was fine in 2013. In 2014, I wanted to bring, like what we're doing, I wanted to have more of a camera thing, wanted to have more video. But we did video, and then we did a little like a webinar-y thing. And that was okay. But Jeremy and Ha,
yes,
you want to go see another webinar?
I want to produce and sell webinars. That's something I'm working on right now. So
webinars, I have seen webinar registrations go down exponentially. Now there are some people for who it works, and like I said, pick your thing, rock it.
Yeah.
But I am sick of webinars, and I've seen registrations go down. And I said, I need something else. So this year, I interviewed 38 small business experts. And I made Webumentaries.
Wow, that's powerful.
I crafted stories. My team and I crafted stories. If you go to smallbizapalooza.com, just enter your name or your name and email, whatever. You'll get the link. Do it now because I am moving it all to a back end, and it's going to be, I'm going to charge for it eventually, but
type it in the website on the sidebar because I think that I don't know.
Sure. That'd be helpful. Yeah, we have.
Check it out.
I'm going to. I come clean now. I have to confess to you guys. I joined the Twitter in 2009, and my tweet follow that increasing rapidly. At one point, I have 25,000 followers. And the thing is, I don't have the strategy. I just go in there and I just talking about something, and then somebody asking me for something, and just respond to it. I don't have any strategy. I don't go in with anything. And now you got just the eyes opening for me, and I just say, wow, I just live under the rock. Now, see, I will listen to this blab again, and I will call Jeremy and I said, hey Jeremy, let's get on the Skype because I want to talk about this, because that is awesome.
Yeah, I love what you're doing. I think that what you're doing is so much more powerful, right? Because how authentic is that? I mean, you aging, that's true mastery in my mind. You know, and I'm not, and don't get me wrong, right? Like, I'm like shy. So I love tweet chats because you get to like engage with people and meet people and you know, that's what I like. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you know, the whole strategy thing, there are strategies to it, but I don't know if that's, you know, like.
So that's why when I approached Jeremy and I said, okay, Jeremy, we just need to go in and we do try to blab every day. And we just bring authentic self. We just go in there, we just be ourselves, and again, you know, our passion will come through. Just like, you know, just like when you're talking to us right now, and just like, you know, you're so generous. You know, you've given advice, your expertise, and everything, and it's so awesome because I met so many nice people on the Blab. You know, just a moment that we were calling.
Yeah,
we asking for help, and here you just step in.
I've just been stepping in. I have not done one yet. I'm planning on doing them, but I just haven't. I haven't like jumped into the hosting thing. But I think what you said, Ha, is so important. You know, doing something every single day. I think that is really, really important, and very, very few people have the fortitude and the discipline to fulfill on a regular commitment, but that's what it takes.
Yeah, so that's why Jeremy and I were talking about, we just like the Blab buddy, and we try to be you know, we have each other, because see, sometimes that you get up there and you just talk to yourself. If you have somebody to converse with,
that's what I've heard.
That's why, yeah. But anyway, you know, just having you, I mean, to me, that's a blessing, you know, just for you to step in and to share, and just like, I said, hi, what have you just lived under the rock? Because I have no idea what's going on in the Twitter world, and yet I have about 25,000 followers.
Well, you aren't you? You're like a coach, right?
Pardon me?
You're like a success coach or something, right?
Yes. But I do it on the face-to-face and word of mouth, and that's why now I want to get into the social media, because I want to expand. You know, because so much, you know, networking. You have to go for breakfast. You have to go to lunch. It can become very costly, and you know, by the time that you're driving there and the traffic and makeup on and stuff, and it's that. Oh, you know, so I thought that it's just like the vehicle, that the Blab and the social media, that's what I need to learn and I need to tap on, you know.
Well, you are doing it. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe your strategy is more intuitive than some of ours, Ha, but you have to have. I mean, I've struggled to. I still don't quite have 5,000 followers on Twitter, but I'm getting close to that, and that's thanks to viral chat and tweet chats like that.
Wow.
If it weren't for viral chat, you know, I'd probably have 1,000 less followers, I'm guessing. So it gets you that more impressions worldwide. And you have weird things like, you know, the British Open, you know, in the summer, if you tweet about that in July, your Twitter analytics will go through the roof, and it's artificial because you know, the British Open is just once a year, but you know, people love watching golf on TV and talking about it.
And you know, now I have like about 5,000 on the Facebook and a few thousand on the LinkedIn, but I don't have, you know, strategy. You know, I don't do the market, online marketing business. I didn't think of that, but now, boy, I wish that I have started become long before that, because it's just an exciting world that we are in.
It is. Know? Hey, welcome, Tony.
Thank you.
I see you have something to say.
Yeah.
Wait, just a moment, Tony. Ivana, and you know, just for helping us, you know, tell us about yourself and your business, because we just want, you know, to give you a moment and to introduce yourself, and you know, we invite people to follow you because I follow you. I
follow you. You're so cute. I follow you too. Now you find me, Ivana Taylor. I publish DIYmarketers.com and produce Bizapalooza. You'll find that at smallbizapalooza.com. And I'm going to say thank you and goodbye. You guys are so awesome. I'm following you too, Tony.
Oh, thank you. Don't leave. 'Cause I was waiting to say something that you had said
Oh, okay.
about utilizing everything and putting on your first blab and stuff like that. I'm kind of the behind the scenes kind of guy, but I've been doing a few blabs when I get into different rooms to help people. As you can see, I can put up when I'm hungry. I usually look like this. Or I'll turn around and I'll have all my buddies together. Those are animations running at the same time while I'm in there, or it's just my simple face. And if you, anybody on a Mac in this room?
Right here.
Okay, well, when I meet up Mac people, you guys kind of make me a little blue, you know? So,
I have been both. I'm not a Mac freak. I'm a Mac freak. I've used them both, so.
I just do it myself.
You're on a Mac yourself?
No, I do all the switching and everything by myself, and I also bring people in on Skype so I can do a lot of things. And I just wanted to point out what, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Blab now, that's now you can now tell your aunt in Facebook about the room. Just
oh, yeah. What is that?
What's that all about? When did that happen? Today, didn't it? I didn't.
Yeah, I just saw that today.
Okay, you know how you can click you tweet a little bird, okay?
Right.
Yeah.
Same principle, except it's going to your Facebook. You share. Now you can share it to your friends, to a group, or to a private message. So you can do that. And so that way it'll get out whatever room you're in. So anybody can do that to start telling their Facebook followers. And it has the link and it has the this show so people can connect to it. Now, are you also aware with questions? Have you heard the new screen set up for questions?
I think so. It sounds like the host has to click on something on the left to switch it from
on the bird, and you'll see it'll say questions. Click on
it,
and then people will go last question TEST, and then what I do is I'll get out. There it shows it right there, but you have to click on below where you answer it, but it won't show up if there's 4 screens.
Yeah, and now that you've tested us, we'll say that we answered that just to make sure that it.
How did you do the question thing?
That mark.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Oh, there it is. I see it.
It's not. It's not. You know, the other blabs that I saw, they did something and it clicked it as a check, and I can't get the check mark to show up. That's weird.
I don't know. Steve just said that it did just a few hours ago. That option available.
It is. You go down below where it says test below mine. Then it says answered. You click on that and it'll check mark it. But let me get out of here, and it'll pop in where I'm.
Oh, okay. All right. So.
Okay, if we click on the answer questions, and then what happens?
There he is.
Okay.
That's something right there.
All right. Now it shows as answered, and looks like I can pin it again if I want to, and check it as answered again. So yeah, that's.
But you know, before that, everyone, you know, I do want to say that stop chasing after the shining object. Here it's in front of us, our friend Ivana, and she has the 2 websites that you should check it out. That's the one is the www.directmarketers.com.
DIY, like do it yourself.
Sorry, DIYmarketers.com. And another one, you know, you have to check it out because this is the awesome ladies. Small Biz. Zapalooza?
Is there an A after biz or not?
Yes, there is. SMALLBIZA.
All right. Wanted to make sure. Okay.
Yeah, I want people to check it out, you know, because it's so awesome. But don't go. If you have to go, then you go. But you know, don't, because we love it.
I'm gonna go, but don't go.
I'm gonna leave you. Where's Tony? Come back, Tony.
Oh, let's see. I've got to switch it back to. There. Okay. Yeah, he can come back. We'll let him back in here.
Yes.
Jeremy, what did you do to bring him back?
I had to switch the question back to Twitter, and you don't have to do that. I had to just close it with an X, I think. Yeah.
You got to do.
Oh, okay.
So you have to have an empty seat to make this work very well. I mean, if you're going to use one square for demonstrative purposes, just so all of you know, Tony helped us demonstrate that. So I want to thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So, my dearest friend, next time if you have to set up your tour, your flap, and if you want us to come, just send us a note. And if you want me to happen to your host, I will be honored. I'm excited. It's really great.
Sounds good.
Well, and the other thing about this with Blab and everything, content. Like you said, a lot of people have a hard time, putting something on it, and you don't need any tools because Blab has already proven that all you need is your webcam, a microphone, and hopefully, your
authentic you.
Yeah, just so it's content. If you don't have good content, no one's going to come to you. Following if you have a specialized content. And I looked through the Blabs like earlier today. There was 32 rooms and 280 people. Now, most of the mornings it's 16 to 20 rooms and anywhere from 100 to 150 people. Mm-hmm. So on average, it's a couple hundred people, but it'll grow. I mean, you have some of these events too that bring in 500 people or 300 people when it's a special person that everyone follows. Now, here's another thing that Blab just did. When we're all done with this show here, the idea is tell everybody stay in the room. If you've got a big audience, stay in the room. We're going to close out. And then it'll show on the screen all the people that were the top 4 that were on there. And then right below it, it's going to say 13 seconds. It's going to transport us to another room that Blab is suggesting.
It's the TARDIS. It's the Blab equivalent of the TARDIS. You're going to take us to a different room in the future.
10 seconds, and we'll get moved. And what happened was we went into another room. I was in a Blab earlier this morning where we were like 80 some people, and then we dropped down to about 40, and then they transported about 30 of us into this other room, and it just went berserk. And they were like, oh my goodness, where'd all these people come from? So it's a nice, neat little feature. So you promote that by telling people, and that helps people. They'll get used to it, and then they'll sit around and wait. And then if you don't like the show that they're going to send you to, obviously you just get out.
Well, and maybe it's in our best interest to mute the volume before we go into the new room in case we don't like what's going on there. I don't know. I can see this work if you're hosting and you're trying to boost your audience. I can see this helping. But I don't like the part about being thrown into a Blab that you might not want to see or might not approve of something in the content. So cuts both ways, I guess.
Yeah. Well, right now, Blab's in its infancy. I mean, I think it should be able to tailor it to each person's kind of needs and jump you into that specific room. Right now, it's doing a mob jump where it's mob Blab that's jumping into a room. Mm-hmm. So, they're trying different things out. Like I said, yesterday they didn't have Tell Your Aunt. Today they have it. It's over there by Tell a Little Bird. And I sent a private message to Preston on the site that I was on. And oh my goodness. Now that's doing that. And I said, right there. And
I'm going to click Tell My Aunt to see if
I better do that too.
Now, if you don't have Facebook open, it's going to want you to sign in. Because you're sharing it. It's doing you got to have a Facebook open for that to work. So they're trying to find more ways to get everybody to connect. Mm-hmm. And this is like part of the do-it-yourself marketeers. I mean, this is more ways to get out. And I remember how I found out about Blab is through Periscope. And how I found out about Periscope was my local television news station was saying, hey, we're using this new thing. Because, I would follow them on Facebook and Twitter, and we would tweet back and forth at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And someone says, go follow us on Periscope. You'll get to see behind the scenes in between shots. So I grabbed my phone and I got in this Periscope thing. I downloaded it, and then I went there and I found KTLA and I clicked and I said, wow. And they're talking to us and they're doing all sorts of stuff. And then I watched for a couple of days. They would go in and out. They wouldn't be on every day. But then somebody said, you should try Blab too. And I said, what's Blab? So I typed in blab.com and it didn't get me anywhere. And so finally I typed in Blab search and it says blab.im. And I clicked there and I'm probably 85 days old into Blab.
I want to confirm what Tony just said. I just opened my Facebook and the page, and I just tell my aunt, your aunt, and then it posted in my Facebook now that I will blab right now.
Cool.
All right, guys, I'm going to have to leave you. I got to go. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Ivana.
High five.
When you see it, you just say, hey, ha. And then, and when I say, hey, Ivana, that's hard. Don't say ha who, because it will break my heart, Okay.
Supposed to say who's ha.
Cool. Hi, guys. It was great meeting you today.
Good meeting you.
So long, my friend.
Okay. Darn, I was going to ask her before she left if she thought live streaming would be a part of Klout Score someday. Blab, Meerkat, Periscope. I think that's another thing Klout should consider. And because I think there's very specialized expertise that's going to come through these platforms that you either live stream and master it or you don't do it at all. So, but I don't know. I think we've kind of covered mostly what I was hoping to cover today. Can any of you think of any other things you want to say about this or closing thoughts?
For me,
Jeremy, I just want to check my Facebook, and yes, our blab is on my Facebook right now.
Okay, I just threw it onto mine too. I thought I had Facebook closed, but it looked like I had it open. So
there you go. It needs to be open in order for it to go through.
I'll just start leaving it open, I guess.
You are a wealth of information, Tony.
Yeah, I really appreciate you hopping on to fill us in on this stuff, Tony.
I want people to use the question mode, because what happens is that it's shown up on the left-hand side, and when you pop it in one of the seats, then it's bigger for everybody to see. Now, the nice thing about it is when you start getting 10, 20 questions, you can go back and repin them. So that's the nice thing. And what you can do is you can give you an example. You can make me a co-host sitting in with the rest of the guests, not on screen, and I could be controlling that while you're doing your show. So if you want to branch out and have more people involved, you can have someone else reading the questions and then pop it up. And then you can go, oh, we're going to take this question from so-and-so. So you see what I'm saying? It really announces, oh, we got a new, see?
Oh,
right.
Throw that out for discussion.
See? So, and then now you can click Tony, you can click Tony Iverson's pin again and it'll come back up.
Okay, so now I saw your name, and then so I just have to X you out. Okay.
Well, yeah, you want to get rid of the questions, and then they come back in. See, so the idea.
Oh, you have to get rid of the questions.
Well, you don't have to. I mean, if you leave it open like that and leave it for a question like that, then nobody else can fill that seat. Now you can lock the seat.
Yeah.
So that way nobody else can get in and fill that spot, because you can always deny them, but it looks kind of funny when they're trying to get in. You have to click. So this way nobody can ask to get in. So, and I've seen a lot more people now that understand this. They're just one person hosting a show, and then that's the second screen.
Yeah.
They're
okay. So in case I want to answer your question, let's say, so how do I answer your question?
Go and click on my question.
No, Jeremy question is on the square now.
Oh, no, you just talk. That's the whole idea. See, this is people that are sitting. Jeremy wouldn't have done it. This is people that are sitting to the right. They come in the room. If you have 40, 50 people and you ask everybody to give me a question and 10 people give you a question, now you scroll through this. Right now you only have 2. And watch this to the left.
How do we go to answer questions?
You don't type in the answer. You
answer it.
You answer it verbally.
Oh, okay. So my verbal is. So, Jeremy.
Watch this. Tony's on top. Jeremy's number 2. Watch this. Since I put a like on it, the star, it bumped it up.
Okay, so now here I answer the Jeremy question.
I noticed that too. People were putting stars on the better questions to try to get them, like in the in the Blab town hall last night. People were doing that with the good questions to make them rise to the top and get answered. Yeah, that's a good. We're going to have to be able to teach people to do this, because people are going to say, "What the heck are?"
Right. Okay. So because we click on the star on Jeremy question. So here Jeremy question here. So I will say, Oh, Jeremy, so what do you think? So that I answer his question. So I will X you out. I click on the X.
You can if you want, or you can leave it up so people can see that was the last question.
Oh, oh. And then if I click on, I click on you. You are second. Okay.
Now you got to go over and click on one of the other questions. See, I wouldn't remove it unless you're finished with the topic. And sometimes you could do this, like you could be your own host, and you can say.
So then the next question for you, Tony, and then when Jeremy close out his recording and we just sit here and just smiling, and then at one point that somebody took over.
Okay, so you see what I did? As a host, you could do this. Please ask a question. Now click on my question that I just put there.
Okay.
So that would be one of you two that would do that, and it would be up there where it says, please ask a question by typing. I guess I typed in /Q again, but it doesn't see it because it's you got to put it in brackets or quotations so it won't recognize it.
Okay.
I don't know. We haven't tried that yet, but what was I going to say? No, at the end when you two guys get out,
yeah,
you click X, but don't leave the room. Just stay here. Then Blab will show us three, for the last three, picture across the screen, and then it will start. It'll say, "I'm sending you to the next room to Blabalicious or whatever," and it's going to say 10, 9, and it's drawn
down to. Oh, that's fun.
And then it teleports us.
I just caught it after the teleportation, so I'm glad you filled us in on this, so I can watch every moment of it this time more mindfully.
I'm glad I learned with you too, Jeremy, because it's just like if by myself, I say, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
Well, and since we're in this room, I'm gonna say something that you guys need to learn. Let's see. Oh, you're still recording it. No. When you
turn go off the record now?
Yeah, because I want to say something here that I just there's nobody in the room except us. Well,
Max, let me tell you, I think I'm going to uninstall the Cloud app on my phone. I'm going to keep my Cloud account intact, but I'm going to ignore it for a while, like Ivana mentioned, and try her strategies of participating in more tweet chats, maybe leading more of them. I have led a couple of them. And I'd maybe like to get more experience with that. So maybe some of us can work together with that. I mean, you have a huge following on Twitter, so your collaboration in that might be helpful to us. And
yes, I want to, Jeremy, because I just about suggest to see if we can get on this the Skype for a little bit. Like I said, I just live under the rock because I have so many people following me, but I have not even tap into that because I have not do any marketing on the online. I have not do any business online. I just have everything. It's just like, go to $25 breakfast or go to $45 dinner. That's how I make. I've been spending too much money too.
Yep. Understood. Well, I go ahead, Tony. Were you going to say something?
Content is king. So, and you can make a fancy. I mean, we can do this all day long. Where I put a blue face or whatever, run all the manicams, the lower thirds. I mean, you can do all the fancy stuff you want, but if you guys are just blabbing and not saying anything, then no one's going to come to your shows. So,
we Tony, us, we're very authentic ourselves. We just go in there, we just give. We just do what we do best. We don't just go and just blab, blab, blab. Right. But, if you can help with us with all the graphic and technology, I think that we will be so awesome.
I'm going to help you with another little tidbit.
Yes.
The first 40 characters in your text, in your title, when you do a hashtag, it should be right up front within the first 40. That's what's read. So we have 80 characters, but only the first 40 are searchable. So everything you want to do has got to be in the first 40. And that hashtag's got to be within the 40. 1, 2, 3. Spaces are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Clout was in it for 36. Oh. And score is 37, 38, 39, 40. O is the last character that's going to be searchable.
So the last, the O in clout?
Yeah, the RE. So it understands clout. That's all one word. You know, hashtag clout. And
so, Tony, let's demonstrate. Just like, for instance, for this title, and then do on the sidebar, because I'm a slow learner. Remember, I'm a crock-pot learner.
What you should have done is you should have.
I need to see.
Maybe I should change it before we go off the air.
Okay, let's do it.
I haven't stopped it yet. We're still recording, so
no, but you still can do it. Jeremy, you can do the backslash and topic and then space, and then you just put in a new one.
Yeah, I can't do it, but
automatically change right now.
But see, here's an example right there. Type that in there. You can copy and paste mine. Type in / topic space and then put that in there.
Is that the topic you want? I mean, that the cloud is for you.
You can add after that, and then end with a pound viral chat. So always try to open with a hash tag, and then a little description in between, and then end with a hashtag. And they got to be meaningful. You know, you just can't say, I picked my nose on Wednesday, hashtag, stuff like that. No one's going to see it.
What about, we went into tweet chats a lot here, and I'm thinking about adding that as a hashtag, just saying like cloud and tweet chats, viral chat. It's shorter.
Can you change your topic right now? Because then it can go in, because I want to see how it works.
I'm going to get
I got it.
Backslash topic space. Okay.
I got it.
AT. Here you go. Just copy mine. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, clout and tweet chats. Yeah.
I could add more text, but that's simple.
Well, I don't know. Here's the thing. When you set your show up, it's counting the characters. True. So you know right in the beginning whether you make it before you set your show up. Then you got to get used to typing words and knowing how many characters, because when over here we can't count the characters.
See, I have no concept of that. I just do whatever what I want to say.
That's because I'm a geek, a technical guy. I'm the behind the scenes, but I learned this from different people. So, because I'm still learning all this about hashtags, all the years I'm the tech support guy that helps you when you say your PC crashed or I got a virus on it, and I remotely connect to you and start doing,
I have a MacBook, and right now I cannot using it because it didn't do anything, and I need to bring to the shop and cost me a few $100. So I just debate, and I said, maybe I should wait to get a new one, because I hate to spend a few hundred, and then they're going up, and they said, we need a few $100 more, and sometimes it's it's more. It's not practical, but sometimes it's practical to get a new one rather than repair the old one.
And that's what Apple wants you to do.
Yeah, you're right. That's pretty obvious.
Ready $1,000 and spend $300.
Yeah, so
and it could be the hard disk is full. It could be that you haven't loaded the new OS. Things like that. There's a lot of little things that contribute to that. I wish
that I can hand over do the screen to you, because
It's easy. Yeah, I can do it through TeamViewer. You can do it through Skype. You can share your screen. But see, I use a program called TeamViewer that allows me to remotely control your computer with your authorization, of course.
Would you consider help me with that someday when you have a moment?
Yeah, we can do that. Okay. Yeah. So that's the key behind it. Skype allows you to share the screen, but then I have to tell you a little thing. And if you don't, if you're not moving it right and you're looking for something, because I used to help people before TeamViewer and just do it by memory, closing my eyes and going, let's see, okay, XP, where they are now, and this and that. And we'd spend a half an hour doing something I could do in 5 minutes.
Yeah, you speak foreign language to me. Okay, so I know that we need to close up the.
I think I have the title I want. Tony, I've put your suggestion in there and added the tweet chats hashtag, and the viral chat one will connect with a lot more people if we leave that in there. So
hopefully that's below 40 characters.
Should be.
Is it below 40 characters?
I didn't count them.
6.
Someone else can count. Count the spaces too.
$39.
There you go.
Woo! We got it. If not, I'm going to shorten the word U to the letter U in the alphabet.
Yeah, you can do that too. Because see, the word viral chat would come out and say viral cha or vir, something like that. And you're saying it's not searchable in a sense.
Yeah, I think just to be safe.
Can you put the S, just like the apostrophe?
That is good. Leave it at 39. It's not going to make
39. I think I'm going to leave it there. As long as I counted them correctly, it's 39. So.
Yep.
Okay.
So
now, Jeremy, when we're done with that, do you have time to get on there? Because I need to, because I'm missing so much already. The tweet chat, the viral chat.
Yeah, it makes my head spin just keeping up with viral chat alone. But go
ahead and close the recording, and that way, then you can go offline.
I'm going to welcome Terry. Thanks for joining us.
Be sure to catch us next week.
Got to take away the question.
Oh yeah, I do have to do that, don't I?
They're going to come in, yeah.
Okay.
Somebody else can come in if they want.
We were just about to close this up, Terry. So if you want to hop in a seat, you can. But I think otherwise we're going to pause the recording. So maybe if you want to hop in, maybe you can let us know, or we'll give you a moment to decide what you want to do. But
He's the T-shirt lady.
Oh, thanks. Okay, we're going to stop the recording then. I want to thank all of you for joining us today. And thanks, Ha and Tony and Ivana, everybody else that's been in the room. We appreciate you stopping by to talk about this topic. And we look forward to working together to all improve our social media skills. There's skill involved, but there's also art involved. And the art can't be measured with a number. The skills, some of the skill can be measured with a number, but not all of it. But let's think of social media as an art. That would be my strong suggestion to all of you. Okay? Bye-bye.
Okay.
Have a good day.